Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, Your girl said he broke her heart. Your boy said she didn't love him from the start. It was never meant to be. You ask me how I know, cause everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it, See, these streets got the hottest gossip that everybody wants to know. The hottest cars, the movie stars, or getting paid every other Friday.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Everybody's Talking About It. I am your host, Mar.Jayy. We are here. This is the show that we talk about everything that everybody's talking about. That's what I meant to say.
I know.
Today, this is episode 6. This is still season 6. We are talking about where are you now? That's just like, man,
It's a rough subject.
all of us on this episode are over 30 years old. So we have
I'm
been
not over.
through some things.
I'm close.
Not over.
And
Okay.
we've experienced some things. So we're going to talk about them things and how we got here. But first, I got to introduce everybody that's here. You know how we do. Give it up for Vicky. Hey, Vic. How you feeling?
Over 30.
I'm telling you. Every day I feel it.
I'm screaming.
Ebony, what's up?
What up, though?
How you?
I'm doing good.
You looking good.
She looking real good.
What's up, Jordan?
What's up?
How you?
I'm doing well.
You ready to talk?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, because everybody already is. What's up, Charlie?
What's up, my nigga?
How you?
Did that one work?
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
It's deeper. It got deeper this one.
It didn't work? Okay, I'm sorry.
And shout out to you. What's up, Dwayne?
What's up?
How you?
Because
I'm talking out the plans.
rip me out the plants I've been acting brand new. Knee slapper right there. Let's go.
It's crazy. So we are talking about where are you now in life. We are, like I said, we've all experienced some things, all been through some things, all dealt with some things. So let's talk about it. So Vicky, where are you now? What's life looking like for you?
So this is what I will say. So you know how everybody talks about that before 30 mark? Well, because I'm 40, I feel like I am way behind. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm behind in that time in my life where I was like as a child, I said, this is what I want to be, this is what I'm going to do. Graduated high school, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to do. And it feels like everything that I thought I was going to do, I am not doing. Like, I'm doing a complete opposite of everything that I wanted to do. So right now, it's like I'm here, I'm blessed, but I'm not exactly where I want to be, even at 40.
I can agree to that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what, at this point in life, I will really say, Charlie said on episode 2, when we were self-aware, getting to the point of admitting, I am not okay.
Right.
And I really believe that more than ever, I can honestly say that I am not okay.
Just come on.
I'm living, I'm breathing, but I am not okay.
But another thing he said, or someone said, was being okay with not being okay.
That's the hard part.
Like
That's
Vicky
the hard
said,
part.
like
That's the hard part.
what we thought growing up life was going to be like, it's completely different. I've gone
What is
through
this?
career changes, relationship changes, family changes, changes with my friendships. Like, it's not at all what I thought it would be. But in the last couple months, I've had to become okay with not being okay with where I am in life. Understanding that I'm at a great place. It's not exactly what I wanted. It's not what I planned. It's not what I want to continue to see. But I'm okay with where I am, even though it's nothing like what I thought it would be.
And the funny thing about it is, I think to get to my point is that I can't be okay with not being okay just because I literally am not okay with my situation. That's the problem. I think that that's the issue. It's like, yeah, I'm grateful. I don't want to make it seem like that I don't have, that I'm not blessed to still be here and able to do more, or still be able to do whatever God has me to do. But the problem is, I am just not okay with where I am right now. And that's the hardest part, is having to accept where you are right now and still be grateful, because that's what faith allows you to do.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's not enough. It's just not enough.
I feel like
Charlie, go ahead.
You're just saying everything how I'm feeling right now,
So it's just,
2023.
honestly,
I'm agreeing.
it's like I've never been more overwhelmed than what I am today. It is like I try to do it with a smile. I try to be respectful. I still try to be myself. But the hardest part is not being okay. I think that's the hardest part. And admitting it out loud is one thing, because that takes a load off.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make the situation
Better.
So
At all.
so my point was, so I got extremely anxious, like legit to the point of having anxiety attacks, because I'm not where I want to be. But then taking a step back and having a moment of gratitude, of realizing, girl, the goals you set, you reached them, and now this is why you're not where you want to be, because now the goals have changed.
Yeah.
So like just having that moment of realizing I have overcome a lot, I have achieved a lot. So it's okay to be at this position now where I do want more, but understand that I've come a long way. So yes, I deserve more. I deserve this moment of gratitude. I deserve this moment of peace. Do I have to be okay with this being my forever and a day? Absolutely not. But like you said, faith gives us that option to be like, you know what? I'm not where I want to be, but yes, my moment is coming. Yes, my time is coming. I definitely believe in divine intervention. Like, it comes when you need it. So like, it's not always what you want at the moment, but it'll come when you need it and when you're ready for it, where you can actually take that and do what you need to do with it, as opposed to fumbling the bag.
But I got a question. When is enough enough?
It's not.
So it
It's
builds
not. It'll never be
character.
It's
enough.
never going to be.
It builds character
It does.
to me, and it builds purpose. Like, you know, I just feel like even though we're not where we think we're supposed to be, for that matter, it builds character and it builds purpose for where God wants you to be.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much deeper than us. And
And I want to say, like what Vicky is saying, like it also, to me, it builds endurance, because there's seasons in life. So you're going to go through a low season, but when you go into what's coming up next, you should be exemplifying what you learned when you were low. So when you're going through something that you can't recognize, like right now, I don't know what the fuck my life is right now. These last 2 months have been, you couldn't have told me my year was going to be the way it is, like present day. But I know that what's coming on the other side of this, I'm in what I am now for that. So being not okay with where you are is what it's always going to be, because life is always going to do what it's going to do. But when you're in those moments of you're down in the valley, it's like, okay, so when you get up on the mountainside, it got to show for something. I wasn't stuck. I wasn't like down bad for no reason. It's God. I got to show some progress somehow, somewhere. You know.
do you feel like the reason why, just real quick, do you feel like the reason why? So for me, I start to feel like a lot of things are like tests. Like sometimes God like puts us through things that are like tests. So I realize a lot with me, I always end up in the same place. Like for a couple of years, I'm like, I'm here again. I'm going through this with this kind of guy, the same thing, the same guy, different, whatever. And it's kind of like, okay, maybe you're here because you did not pass the test.
But
my pastor says all the time,
Vicky,
the test you
I
failed,
promise
the
you
one
guys,
you
I promise
He'll
you.
keep giving
I
it to
was
you in
sitting
different
here
form.
waiting for you to ask that question or talk about that, because you never know if you did. Because here's the problem. Say that you might be going through a financial situation where you're financially bombarded. Now say that your test is that this is my situation of going through this financial, I got to get this money up or whatever to pay these bills. Now, is the test, how am I going to go get this money? How, or the end result is how I got it, how was it there? Like, so just say that I happen to know a drug dealer who let me borrow $5,000 to cover all my bills. Did I fail the test because I had help? Or was that what I was supposed to do?
Well, so to me, your job.
If that makes sense to y'all.
No, that makes a lot of
sorry.
sense because you're saying about how it is. So to me, your job is not to worry about how it's given.
Right.
Your job is to get through it the best way that you can.
Okay.
So to me, it's kind of like it's funny because we was talking about that today, but that's just not what it's about. It's about how it's given. That's just like, for instance, it says that. Like God will give you something. Like say if you're going towards a plan, like you want to build a house. God is not gonna give you the house. He'll give you the tree. He'll give you the wood.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it's your job to build.
To build.
Just how to maximize.
He can
Right.
take it away as well.
But I think, Dwayne, you got something to add to this? Where are you now?
I mean, I'm listening to all y'all conversations. I'm in part of it, and I agree with a lot of things, and a lot of things are hitting home as far as where you think you are. And is a situation with me is where I felt like I kind of peaked too early, like where I thought I was going. I was in New York, I was auditioning, I was doing commercials, I was doing I was doing a lot for like 7 months straight. I was about to go on tour, and then something happened with that tour, and it seemed like after that happened, there was nothing else, and I had to get a regular job, and that wasn't my trajectory that I thought I was going to, and once it stopped hard. Yeah. So it was just like all that creative spirit, everything like that, it left me, and it left me kind of empty for a while until I, recently got it back. Right. But then other things came about, like last season with the whole gambling thing, and losing my brother. Like it was a lot of things where it's just like I'm not where I'm at, and I'm lonely. I feel like it's depressed. I feel like I'm doing a lot for a lot of people, and it got to the point where I felt like I deserve. Yeah. And I used to get mad at why am I'm a good person. Why can't I have with this person that's a piece of shit guy that I don't have? Like what am I doing wrong?
Yeah, that's another thing.
I'm glad that you brought up a particular thing because now this is my opportunity to be a little vulnerable. That's one of the reasons why I don't do relationships because I always feel like I would lack in certain areas when it comes to where I felt like I would want to be when I finally settled down in a relationship. So I feel like at the end of the day, as much as I would love the end goal to say, okay, marriage, family, all of these things, but I'm not where I want to be internally for me to finally make that decision. So I'm saying it out loud, that's my answer to relationships. It's not that I ultimately am like a relationship phobe or anything. It's just that I always like to correct self. Like I gotta get my shit in order before, I don't wanna take, people like me and Rodney always differ in that people always wanna have problems. You're always gonna bring something with you. But I'm the person that's like, I would rather bring as less as possible to a relationship.
But that's not something you won't be able to control. Like life is
You're
always
right.
going
You're
to
right.
life. Like
But
even
that's
when
the
you
thing.
and I just said it
it's
to
just
Charlie,
fear.
even when you think you got it all together, life gonna throw some shit in there.
You're right.
All the
and
time.
that's the part that's the hardest
Like,
part of
legit
letting
sucker punch
go.
you.
That's the part that's the hardest part of letting go. That I think that another thing that we'll talk about this season is insecurities. That's a thing that I think I'm insecure about would be me not being enough. And I know that that's the hard part. Like,
so do you think social media plays a part in that?
Not being enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Like social media and just the things that we're seeing every day, like because to me it makes you feel like you have to be at a certain place at a certain time.
Yes.
Like for a long time they pressed this before you turn 30. So everybody is like, I'm 30 and I'm not here, or like I have, like my son is 20 years old and I can't express to y'all how much this boy calls and talks to me, and he's depressed at 20 years old about the fact that he's not where he wants to be, and I'm like, bro, all you need to be doing is just working right now, like figuring it out. Like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, but he is really depressed and stressed, and I've dealt with situations with him where he wanted to hurt himself because you have every child. There's a lot of children that are trying to do this old YouTube thing, and you just want to become an influencer and all that stuff out there. Is like, and if you're not doing that, you're nothing. So you get depressed about that. So it's just so many levels of. It doesn't just start with us or where we're supposed to be. It's literally in our children right now. They're struggling.
Yeah.
So it's rough.
And let me tell you this, depression is real.
Child.
Let me tell you, if people don't understand it, people say certain things like when you said something about anxiety attacks and panic attacks, people think those are made up things. Those are not made up things. Those shit is real. People have panic attacks, depression is real, fucking anxiety attacks, all of those things are real. Literally, I had an anxiety attack this very fucking morning, because this shit that people see that some people do, what I do right here is not a fucking joke. It's not a game. I don't take it as a game. I'm not just somebody that sets up a camera and be like, yo, let me call my friends and let's talk shit. No, real money go into this, real time go into this, real effort goes into this. I fucking lose sleep over this shit right here. And I still deal with day-to-day shit. I'm dealing with death in families and watching all my parents get older. All of these things is happening at one time, and then I don't lay it on other people, but I take it on. So yes, depression and all that shit is real. Yeah. And what I say is, I'm not doing this shit because you spoke about influencers and stuff. I'm not here to be an influencer. I don't want to be somebody that's out here like, oh, this is how you got to get your eyes and your nose. I don't want all of that. I'm here because these conversations need to be had, yo. Yes. That's the one thing that I really started this shit, and I'm running with this shit, that conversations like this need to be had. Because if they don't, we're going to have situations where young people are going to become up depressed as fuck, suicidal as fuck, mad as fuck, because they don't have the answers, and they don't know, and that's okay. It's okay not to know. It's okay not to have the answers. We don't know. We live in every day on borrowed time. It's what we put into that is going to be looked at. Like I always love the saying, whatever you do for Christ will last. That's the one thing I've always went with. It doesn't matter.
That's funny you should mention that today. They was talking about like the one thing that, you know, depending on your religious beliefs.
Yes, and I'm not pushing, I'm sorry for that. I don't push no religion on nobody. I'm just telling how I grew up, what I've been in school with, and those things.
So, but what they were saying was the one thing, like, you know, God is going to ask you, what have you done with what I've given you?
Yep.
So at the end of the day, it's like, it's not where you're supposed to be or where people think you should be or where you think you should be. When it's time for you to come into account with God, and He's going to, in that judgment day, it's going to be like, okay, what have you done with what I've given you?
How are you
and you're doing it.
What you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're doing it. We're doing it. This is what you've given me. You've given me the ability to speak. You've given me enough trials to be able to share them with someone else. Whatever the case may be, we're doing it. So that's what it's really based around to me.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
I would say 2023 has put me in the I'm nowhere where I thought I was going to be. I had started a new career with American Airlines, and I moved up fast. Like, I started from the bottom, and I was a manager with like that, and got 2 raises in the year. And I already started seeing, okay, my next goal is to be a duty manager. Next goal is to go fly out somewhere else, be a manager somewhere else. At the end, my end goal was to be a department head. I seen it. I was figuring out how I was going to do it and everything. 2023, I got fired. And January 5th and then January 9th, I lost my best friend to suicide. Because he didn't have a job for months. And I'm like, I'm currently in that, I just got a job, but from January to June, not having a job fucked me up. I have never not had a job since I was 21 with benefits. This thing that we think that we're supposed to be, God will humble you. And I never thought I needed to be humble. So I thought if you humble, you like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I got all this, and really not. And I always thought that's what it was. But it's not. It was humbling me to ask for help for when I need help. Because I have a problem.
Me too.
For asking for help.
Me too.
I talked to Vicky yesterday. I need brakes on my car. I could go with somebody that said, if you need it, ask me, and I won't go because I don't want to feel like a burden or a bum. So it's like that. I'm being humble in that. Like, oh my God, I didn't know I needed to be humble in that. Like, y'all said something about being a steward. I wasn't a great steward over my money. It's like all that stuff that I'm with. So you have to.
Let me tell you this, Shirley.
And that's why I said.
Let me tell you this. You are one of the most genuine people there is. So in that, you have to take into account that, like Vicky said, some tests will be hard. They will be hard, but it's going to test your faith so much to see how you stand tall and firm during that test, and the outcome that you're going to receive, the reward that you're going to receive, will be greater than anything that you've ever expected. God always promises abundance for those who sow the right seeds. And the seeds that you sow, Charlie, will be abundantly rewarded to you. That's how genuine and sincere you are to those around you. And in this, me speaking life to you, I'm also speaking to myself, and we have to stand firm because we don't have a choice out here.
That's it.
We don't have no choices. Every choices that were given to us were taken from us years ago. We gotta go for what we know, and that's the hard part. But that's the thing, like Vicky and Ebony were saying, that's the part that's going to sustain us. And we don't have always the right to be emotional, as they say, or we don't have the freedom to be emotional. But we gotta be. We gotta let this shit out because carrying it will break us.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this, Charlie, you are a talented person. You are a loving person. You are going to get through every fucking thing you go through, man. And you got a family here that surrounds you with nothing but love and support. And anything you need, we hit. That's just how it is. That's just life. Because that's what we got at the end of the day. Somebody to fucking support us, man. That's what we need. Fuck all that hate and shit. And all that weird vibes and all that weird energy. Love on each other, y'all. Out there, everybody.
For sure. The
This
social
shit is
media
hard.
make you think you gotta have it all together. People only post their highs. The lows don't get posted.
Nope.
We all as human have highs and lows. And as you were talking, Charlie, this morning I was listening to Sarah Jakes, and she made the comment that every time she
Shout out
gets
to
up
you,
to
Pastor.
speak, she has a feeling of uncomfortability. And she's like, God, I just want one time for me to feel like I can go on stage and I got this. And God's response to her was, the moment you feel like you got this, you don't
Thank
know
you. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's
So
it.
I've been you where I'm at the point
Yes.
like, oh, I got a career, I got this, I make that, I got this, I got that, I don't need nobody for this. And God will quickly humble you where, baby, you ain't got me in it.
Right.
You avoided me in the equation, and now
Right.
my shit started to crumble. Like,
Yeah.
And that's the realness of it. I mean, people don't realize that. And shout out to you, Pastor Jakes Roberts.
Come
mom,
on, Lady Roberts. Mamas.
She get me through some days. My
And this is what
God.
I respect about her. That is where you say that is unhinged praise. That is where you don't give a damn. Like, I don't care how I look.
That's what I
I
need.
don't care how I feel.
Yeah.
I gotta give God a little bit of something
Yeah,
because that's how I feel every day of my life. Because I mean, of course, I'm thankful for everything that my job and the things that's around me. No, it's not the best or the greatest, but I'm thankful because I can be able to do it. I have health in my body. I have strength. I have all these things to get up and be able to do it. And like you said, Charlie, it's the hardest thing for me is to ask for help too. It is. And that's one of the things that I've been struggling with for a long time. I was in therapy saying, why is it hard for me just to, ask people for stuff or just to say I can't do it or do all this? And it's an ego thing. And it's like when you let self go and put in that I need help, like you can get it. People out there do support.
I was
you've
saying,
been quiet,
I was saying to people, that's funny about that. I was saying to somebody the other day, so, for a long time in my life, I needed help. Like, I needed help. I was going through, like, a really deep, dark place in my life, so I needed help. And I had a friend that would always help me, seem very genuine, but in this weird moment, she was humbled because it was, people think that when they're helping you, they're doing something.
Oof.
This is what I mean. Like, for instance, I can help Ev. I could be her help. Every time she called me, I'm giving her something, right? Giving her something. But what people fail to realize is that what you need to be is grateful. You need to be grateful because, first of all, you don't know who you're helping and what you're walking me into, okay? Yeah. You don't know who you're helping. Don't throw what you did for me in my face because you don't know who I am. God placed you there. Everybody in our circle needs somebody to help them and get to the next level. Yep. So people need to humble themselves there. Yeah. That's the place where they need to humble themselves. I had to tell her, I was like, listen, you're throwing it in my face now, but you need to be happy you were able to help me. God chose you to help me. You don't know who I am. You don't know what my next step is. Mm-hmm. You don't know what God got for me. Exactly. So humble yourself. And that's just something that really, it was like, had me hot. People do this all the time.
And I'm so glad that you said that because that's taking me right here. I'm about to go around. Vicky, give me something that you would tell yourself 10 years ago. Don't rush.
Don't rush, baby. That's what I would tell myself 10 years from now. Don't rush. I didn't have to.
Ebony, what would you tell your 40-year-old self?
Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. The don't rush was very much for me, but for younger me, definitely don't rush, but like things happen when they're supposed to, and it happens for a reason.
Jordan, what you think your 40-year-old self would tell you?
It was all for today. Like everything that you went through when you was 30, when you was 35, when you was 7, when you was 16, it's all to be the 40-year-old that you are, like standing in this present moment.
Charlie, what you think the person you'll be at the end of this year, at the end of 23, will tell you right now?
Yes.
Stand up for yourself and don't be afraid of your voice.
Come on, voice.
Come on, Charlie. My guy, you got this.
Dwayne, what would you tell your high school self?
Be grateful for the opportunities that come your way, even if it's taking a breath, a new life each day. Because life is short, and just be thankful that you made it to this year, because a lot of people haven't made it to the year I am. I'm about to come up on a year where I would be just as old as my mom. So, just be thankful.
I'm gonna go around one more time with a different set of questions. Vicky, what would you tell all your kids after they're all grown?
After they're grown?
After all
And I'm
of them are
alive?
all grown and you're still living, they're all grown, they all started life. What would you tell your son?
Honestly, I would tell my children to seek God in everything that they do. Because it's important, it says it. Like not to get deep, but Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you. I believe the one thing that I missed was seeking God in the things that I did. Not asking. Always ask questions. Seeking you shall find, knocking the doors will be open. You have to seek, and I think you missed that. I have.
Ebony, what do you think your 17-year-old self would say about you right now?
You did the damn thing, Mama.
Come on.
Period.
I like that.
It wasn't like I said, it wasn't the plan that I had at 17, but I'm in a really good place right now.
Jordan, if you could tell child Jordan something right now, what would you tell him?
Be proud of who you are, because you're going to grow up to be a dope ass nigga.
Let me tell you something.
really
If you ain't already there.
And like be all of everything you're receiving right now from other people is never going to amount to anything in the next couple of years, because you're not going to see yourself the way you see yourself right now.
Charlie, what would you tell the Charlie you thought you were 15 years ago compared to the Charlie who you found out you were now?
Stop shrinking in rooms. Stop dimming your light. Believe in yourself. You got it. You got it naturally. Sucks that they didn't get it naturally, but that you got it. You got God gifts, and use it to the best of your ability.
Dwayne, what would you tell the 65-year-old retired Dwayne after he's successful and did all of that? What would you tell him?
What would I tell him? Like future me?
Yep.
Wow, I made it to 65. Like that's what's up. Something happened that you made it there. So I'm truly thankful that we got there.
So, I would tell old Maurice, shut up. Shut up. Everything is not funny. Everything is not a game. You got a long road ahead of you, but everything is not a game. I would tell future Maurice, wow. Everybody that said you would be something one day, they were right.
That one right there.
Woo! Really did it. God never left your side. Your mother never left your side.
Come on.
But you did it. Congratulations. I would tell the person I thought I was, you stand out regardless of what you do. People notice you. And it's not because of what you do externally. It's the feelings that you have internally that shine through who you are every day. Keep being that person to people and stop shunning them away. And that's how I'm going to end this episode. Wherever you are in your life right now, love that person. Put some time into that person. It's okay. You're going to change. You're going to grow. You're going to evolve. Every day. Every day. Every second of the day. But the one thing is, carry whoever higher being that you pray to, you go to with you. So you can have some type of direction and leadership for you. And then the people around you, take inventory of those people, because those are the people that's going to guide you and support you as you go on that journey. But do not give up. Do not put your head down. Do not fall. We may stumble, but do not fall. And if you fall, that's okay. But your job is not to lay there. Your job is to get back up and keep on going. Y'all see the videos of the races where people might trip and fall, and they sit up there and they run with a crippled leg, and they keep going, leg broken, they keep going to the finish line. Because at the end of the day, at least you can say, I finished. I got it. I accomplished it. No matter the outcome, no matter the end goal, I made it. I made it. That's it. Y'all feel good?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna keep going for it?
Yeah.
I'm proud of
I ain't
all
got no
of y'all.
choice.
I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have grown so much over the time that I've known each and every one of y'all. I know a lot of y'all for 10 plus years or more. Some of y'all I've met for 5 years ago, 3 years, whatever how long we met. I just see the progress, the goals being met, the dreams being reached, all of those things, and the love being shown and the support from me. I love you guys. Keep tuning in, like, comment, share, subscribe. Everybody's talking about it next week. We are getting into, it's totally opposite of this. We're getting into body counts. So we're going to talk about that.
We're going to light it up.
Tune in. Tell a friend.
Mar, in life, where are you now?
I'm all over the place. I believe that I have a vision and a goal and a direction, but what I'm trying to fulfill is what God's will.
What's a big life lesson you've learned over the last 10 years?
Oh, 10 years? Life lesson? I don't know. I guess I'll say, like, in my 30s now, I gained a lot of confidence. I'm only 32, but I feel like the first 2 years of my 30s, I really became, like, self-aware and just, like, confident in knowing who I am, even, like, just walking with my head more straight and, like, not down. Like, the biggest lesson I learned is, like, don't really worry about what other people think of you if you know who you are already.
A big life lesson that I've learned, the biggest life lesson that I've learned after the last 10 years is save yourself the heartache. You being loving and caring and all of that good stuff to people does not mean you'll get that back.
It's okay to not be okay. Sometimes you gotta take some time to really put yourself back together and try not to hide behind everything and everyone else. Sometimes you really just gotta sit with yourself and sort through what's not okay to really be okay. You can't run from it forever.
Couple questions. The biggest life lesson I would have to say is remain present.
Ooh, life lesson? Keep your mistakes to a minimum.
A big life lesson I learned over the last 10 years has to be showing people who you are.
You only live once. Go out, do what you gotta do. All those, I want to do this and I want to take this vacation. I want to go here, do it.
One of the biggest lessons I've learned over the past 2 years is go with your gut. Go with your gut because your intuition is everything. If you're feeling it from the gut, then you should go with that number one feeling that you're having, because when you second guess yourself, or when I've second guessed myself, I've always regretted it and known that I then realized that I should have went with my gut.